Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Cavlin here on KHOU 11 Plus for a deep dive on the forecast. Not a lot going on here at home, which is nice. But we are still tracking that one wave out in the Atlantic. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but we got more rain chances coming in here for southeast Texas as we get into the weekend. Beautiful day out there right now, though. A lot of sunshine, couple clouds. These fair weather clouds starting to fill in a little more. I do think we'll stay dry here through the afternoon. 90 your temperature at lunchtime. There are two other numbers, though, that I want to talk about in a little more depth here as we go through the next 2 days. The first is the dew point temperature. The higher that number is, the worse it feels outside. That's the easiest way to remember that. So when you get this number into the 70s, it's just miserable outside. And that is exactly what drives our feels like temperature. So the feels like temperature has nothing to do with how it feels when you're in the sun or in the shade. All of those numbers are measured in the shade. The feels like temperature is just a product of the temperature on the thermometer and the dew point, which measures the humidity. So now that we've got that settled, let's talk about the dew point and what we think is going to happen here as we head through the next few days. Air temperatures are still pretty hot. We're at 92 for Stafford, Sugar Land, 90 Rice Military, and at NRG. 88 at Hobby, 91 for Columbus, 92 Palacios, 90 for Huntsville, and then upper 80s on the east side. Dew point temperatures, what we were just talking about, pretty big range from 50 in Amarillo to 73 Harlingen, 74 for Lufkin, right? So the higher the numbers, the higher the humidity. The darker the green, the higher the humidity. See how everything's connected. Behind this boundary, and it's a very weak boundary moving through the state right now, those numbers start to drop. It's a gradual drop at first, but it really accelerates the farther north and west you go. Some of this drier air is going to try to make its way in here as we get into the later afternoon today, and then more so, you're really going to notice it as we get into tomorrow. So what do the numbers mean? Okay. Believe it or not, based on exactly where that number is, it has a big impact on how it feels outside. So when dew point temperatures are under 60, it feels great. It's dry, it's comfortable. The actual temperature, it actually feels cooler than what the actual temperature is if that number is low enough. Right now, though, we're in that typical summer humid category. It's a normal summer day out there. We're kind of teetering on the muggy category, so it's not the worst that it's been, but it doesn't feel great, especially if you're outside for a long period of time. That being said, on some of our worst days, those numbers are in the 75 to 80 range, and at the coast, 80 and above easily, again, on those worst days. Once we get to tomorrow, I think that our dew point temperatures could get as low as that 60 to 65 degree range, and in a few spots, maybe even into the upper 50s. That said, it's still going to be hot, but we take the edge off that heat, so it's not going to feel as terrible as it could here for the beginning of September. So sunny and hot weather on the way here for the rest of the week. The humidity will drop a little bit today, a little bit more as we get into tomorrow. The bad news is that it doesn't stick around for the weekend. Instead, the humidity and those rain chances will come back as we hit Saturday, but more so as we get into Sunday. So there's a look at satellite and radar at lunchtime. Couple showers across East Texas. I think we'll stay dry here, but those clouds that are popping up are ahead of that front. Behind the front, notice not a cloud in the sky. I mean, clear conditions out there, and that's a product, again, of that drier air coming in. So for the rest of today, it's mostly sunny, it's hot, dry for the most part. That boundary goes through, high pressure comes in. Tomorrow, not a cloud in the sky. It'll be hot, but it won't be as humid. So temperatures will actually make it to the upper 90s. Tomorrow will be the hottest day of the week, but it will actually feel like the upper 90s instead of feeling like the triple digits. And then for Friday, I think the humidity stays on hold just for one more day, and a couple extra clouds start to filter in. Still a dry day, though, not rain-producing clouds. So there goes the dark green off the map for tomorrow. Some dry air tries to filter in. Obviously, it's going to feel a lot better the farther north and west you go, but it won't be bad here in the city by the afternoon. And with that, rain chances drop as well. So we're at a 10% chance for today. I think we go dry for Thursday and Friday. And then, of course, we get to the weekend and the rain chances come back. Now, I think Saturday is fine. Just a 30% isolated pop-up shower or storm chance. I do think we'll start to increase rain chances for Sunday, getting into Monday as well. And that has to do with the tropics. Not the tropics in the Atlantic. No, we're out in the Pacific right now. We've got Hurricane Lorena. Now, this storm is going to eventually make landfall here along the west coast of Mexico. So here it is on Future Track. As we get you into the end of the week, that storm takes that turn towards the north and east, makes landfall either as a strong tropical storm or a Category 1 hurricane, and then just falls apart as it moves over land. However, once it falls apart, it doesn't just lose all that moisture. That still has to go somewhere. So that gets caught up in the jet stream, crosses over into the U.S., and then meets up with a front passing through the Great Plains and the southeast. And that front will squeeze that moisture back out of the atmosphere. And here come our rain chances for Sunday into Monday. The rain chances are going to kind of fluctuate, so we actually may be able to drop them for Sunday. Maybe it's more focused on Monday. We're still a couple days out, but I would anticipate seeing at least more of a scattered storm chance for the second half of the weekend getting into Monday. Now, on our side of the globe, we've also got a system that we're watching here. It doesn't have a name yet, but there are high odds for development over the next few days. So let's check it out on Future Track, and you can see the model here still keeping this thing alive and also keeping it a little farther south. Now, we're looking pretty far down the road. We're looking about 10 days into the future, all the way towards the end of next week. But still, the models have been consistent with this idea. Now, some solutions take it to the north, but, and I'll just show you this now, as we go to both of our models, the American and the European, watch what happens. They're in really good agreement this afternoon, and that's fairly unusual to get this far out in advance. So we're looking all the way towards the beginning of next week, 6 days from now, next Tuesday. There's the American in red, there's the European in black. I mean, we're a couple miles apart here. This is not a big difference, and they're both showing a decently strong compact storm system. What happens beyond that point is also interesting. The American model shows a bit of a stronger system. The European model a little bit weaker, but I also think that has to do with some interaction with the Antilles. Bottom line though, neither model as of this afternoon curves this thing out to sea. So we will have to watch these very carefully as we get towards the beginning and the middle of next week. We're going to be watching the system for a long time. Next name on the list is Gabrielle. And again, this is a reminder that we are also a week away from the peak of hurricane season. That comes in September 10th. So next Tuesday, I believe that is. Just a reminder that we are, next Wednesday, just a reminder that we are in prime time for hurricane season, and we got to be on our guard with anything that forms out in the Atlantic. Doing some traveling for tomorrow across the Northeast. Weather looks good, especially early in the day from New England all the way down to the Mid-Atlantic. I think by the evening, though, a couple storms will catch up to you. Could cause some flight delays and then showers back across Pennsylvania and the Great Lakes. In the Southeast tomorrow, weather looks great. 90s from Little Rock to New Orleans, down through Florida. A couple shower and storm chances, though, a little wet down towards Miami. Atlanta looks okay with a scattered storm chance, temperatures in the upper 80s. For Texas, a bit cooler and cloudy for El Paso, upper 80s. Hot but dry for Midland, up through Amarillo and Dallas, 101 for San Antonio. We're looking good here in Houston, 98 with sunshine and lower humidity. Farther north, a bit breezy for Rapid City, cool and sunny, real taste of fall for Chicago. 67 is the high temperature. All the way up towards the Great Lakes, Twin Cities, Green Bay, low 60s for high temperatures, a little bit warmer farther south. Across the southwest into the west coast, gorgeous weather as usual for San Francisco, LA, temperatures upper 70s, a lot of sunshine. 99 for Phoenix with maybe a couple of storms in the afternoon, near 90 for Denver, and then upper 80s, more clouds for Salt Lake. Finally, in the Pacific Northwest, hot still from Medford to Boise to Spokane, temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, a little bit cooler on the coast, sunshine, and again, breezy conditions through the northern Rockies, getting from Montana down through Wyoming. For us here tonight, not bad. With that humidity dropping, the skies will clear out, temperatures a couple degrees cooler, low 70s in the city. Could see some upper 60s, maybe even mid 60s for the northern suburbs. And then for the day on Thursday, a drop in humidity means a ton of sunshine. A beautiful day coming up, but it will be hot, 98 degrees or high temperature. The good news though, 98 will actually feel like 98. There's that 7-day forecast. We'll do 95 then on Friday with the mix of sunshine and clouds. Clouds will increase as the day goes on. And then just an isolated shower or storm for Saturday, 94. Higher rain chances start to creep in for Sunday into the start of next week. High temperatures a little bit cooler as a result in the upper 80s to low 90s. I do think we'll hang on to low 90-degree temperatures even once we clear out for next Tuesday with sunshine. Humidity may try to drop again as we get to the middle of next week as well. That's a look at your forecast. Meteorologist Kim Castro will have an update on this forecast coming up on the KHOU 11 News at 4 o'clock. We hope to see you there. Have a great day.